I know it's been a while, but welcome back to the Trough. Yes, it's the podcast that can't most of the time because there's too many people not wanting to be on the podcast because they're afraid of cameras. But we managed to get one volunteer today, and that is Todd Hoddick. How you doing, Todd?
I'm good, Q. How are you? How's your better half doing?
She's good. She's here on the bed, actually, just on her phone, clicking away. She'll edit this later. You're hailing from where right now?
So I'm in Northern California right now. I'm in the Sacramento area. Depending on what day it is and what time, I'm either in LA or I'm up in Sacramento. I work in LA and live in Sacramento.
Right on, right on. And what do you do?
So I'm responsible for the entertainment division of a production company. So if you watch something like the Grammys, most of the lighting and the LED stuff like that, that's our company renting that
Oh,
equipment.
wow.
Yeah, we've got a couple concerts going on right now. Beyonce, Drake, a few other ones.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, yeah,
Connected to
yeah.
the
So we do.
bigwigs.
I don't know, man. We do TV, film, we do music. It's renting gear. It's not
Yeah,
all
just
as cool
just
as it
just to,
sounds.
no big deal. Beyonce and her and her people. No bigger star or anything like that. Just Beyonce, no big deal.
Right.
Right? Okay.
we don't
So,
we don't do Taylor Swift. Somebody else has got Taylor. So what
somebody
can I
else
tell
has
you?
got the Taylor Swift contracts. Probably somebody in an NFL pool, probably at
Right.
this rate.
Indeed.
Oh man. So, okay, so you're Northern California, Sacramento area at this moment, and you are involved in the entertainment business. How you doing in the pool this year so far? It's let's just do a quick recap for those of us not knowing. At the time of this recording, it is February 19th on a Monday, on a Monday, but a holiday Monday, Martin Luther King Day in the States.
President's Day.
President's Day. My mistake. I can
And
never get. I
that's your
can.
last quiz question,
I
too,
can
because
never
I'm
keep your
recorded.
holidays straight. We're doing Family Day, right? It's basically
Okay.
an excuse to have a day off in the winter.
Nice. I like it. I'll take it. So
And
in the pool,
yeah,
it
go
depends
ahead.
on which team it depends on which team you're talking about, right?
Let's
So
talk about the good one. We know how good the good one is. So at least some of
so
us do. If
so
you're familiar at all with Todd's teams, you might recognize the St. Pat's name near the top of the
indeed.
standings. What?
Indeed. So it's been that way for years and years, and it's been a very long time since this old man has seen the top of the standings. And I think it's all due to you and your lovely wife, because it happened for the first day when we were together at a San Jose Sharks game. I hate the Sharks, by the way. Sorry,
Yeah,
Petit. It's not good. It's
yeah.
bad for them. But on that day, Carly promised me that she would capture the fact that I had hit first, because I was pretty sure it was going to be short lived. But hanging on by the hair of my chinny chin chin, still in Lucier. It was a draft that fell to me. I was God given advice from the master himself, Fab. It was my third draft because I am that addicted to stupidity
Mm-hmm.
within puck
Oh,
hogs.
I am too. I have three
And
bad teams. Three awful,
there,
awful
there you
teams that are preparing for the toilet bowl.
yeah, I'm gonna see you there on 2 out of 3. But no, I got one that's hanging on, barely. We'll see how it's going.
Yeah,
We'll see
I'm
if I
just
make it
checking
all the way.
this. I'm just checking the standings right now, and you have a 124. I'm not the greatest at math when I got to carry the one. You got a
Yeah.
124 point lead, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. That can
It's
be
not.
erased in one night, easy,
Yeah,
easy.
I think it was 380 last night, and it's now down to 100 and change. So that tells you it's literally been
Yeah.
erased.
And today, I think he's been catching up on you. If the standings are reflective of what's going on right now, he's having a
Yeah.
whopper of a day. Cincinnati Stingers in
Yeah.
Swamptown. Not sure who that is, but
Me either.
he's got a 499 point day, and the games aren't even over.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been on my ass for a while, and I think we're allowed to say that on a podcast, right? That's not
Yeah,
even a
well,
swear word.
that's not even a swear word. It's a technical term at this point.
Right.
And like,
Yeah,
I
no,
look at
he's
your team, and it's just like, okay, Cooley and Kerfoot. All right, I get the scheduling for that, but like,
yeah,
Kerfoot.
yeah.
Pasternak, of course, is money. Tuck is pretty solid. Now, your D is interesting. You got Darlene, who's money. Seth Jones, who's like, okay, Larson, Pareko. Oh, you've got a fifth defenseman and there's six defensemen. You got Hedman and McAvoy there too. Okay, interesting
Hit
choices in
hit
terms
the
of
IR.
and Farabee, Kreider, Moore, Reinhart. He's pretty good. Trocheck, Matt Roy. You've got Matt Roy. Why are you wasting a spot on Matt Roy? And you got Bob. How? Okay, good luck. I don't know how are you maintain. I don't understand how people maintain with these rosters. I don't get it. Like my roster on paper sounds a lot better. Yet here I am. Hi, down here. You know. I don't
All right.
understand. Is Pasternak been having that good a season?
Pasternak's having a good season, right? If you look at it right now, you've got Cooch, you've got Pasternak, you've got the guys that you would think at the top are not necessarily there. It's not so much McJesus right now or Draisaitl. Pasternak's probably top 4. I haven't looked at it, but he'll be in consideration for the Hart. That was my first draft pick, was Pasternak. I'm a guy who hates the rat, but I seem to get Marchand every year, and decided I was going to take a run. Yeah, he's been so good, but I was worried he was too old. So Pasternak was the first pick. And then in the draft, it fell to me. So I got my first defenseman in my second pick, and it comes around. And I had been dealing with Brophy and all the Sharks that were in that. And then there's my second defenseman on my third pick. And it comes around again, and I'm like, shit, I've only got one forward. I got to go for a forward or a goalie, but there's another defenseman. So I ended up grabbing some crazy top 4 defensemen, and I was pretty sure it was going to be my worst team. Ends up, you got to fill 4 defensive roster spots, and
people underestimate defensemen. I draft like in Brophy, although I'm not doing well. I was like pick 7-ish, and I drafted McCarr, and he's been like absolutely lights out for me.
Yeah.
All right.
McAvoy's been big. Dahlin's been big for me. In another league, I had Yossi, but this season for me has been all about the D. Literally 4 of my first 5 draft picks in Lucier were D-men.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? They're like if you can get like roughly 3/4 of a point per game from your defenseman or something like that, it's pretty solid. Like those slots raise the value. Like I prepared for the toilet bowl by making sure I had a fifth defenseman, filled my 2 goalie slots, and we even did a deal there for Saros in Brophy. I gave you Tavares, I think it was.
Yeah, injured old man on that fucking piece of shit. Toronto Maple
getting rid of him has been helpful.
Dude, the Leafs are painful. I don't know how you live as a Leafs fan, right?
Well, what's painful about
I know.
Get specific. There's a lot.
It's tough. It's tough. And then you get, what was it, a 9-point game the other night? I can't even imagine what that did for all of your Leafs players.
Well, I mean, Matthews is up to 49 goals on the season. He's played 54 games. It's almost he almost did the 50 and 50. And like 48 of those goals, I heard a crazy stat today. 48 goals comes across 28 games. 49
That's insane.
49 would be 29 games.
That's insane.
Bonkers. Then like there's all those games where he didn't score, right? So like it's like unbelievable season for that guy. And I mean, McDavid is chugging along as usual. He gets the occasional 5-point night, all right, stuff like that. But like, I guess what it comes down to is, and this is one of for anybody who's watching this who's not in the league, if you do get in the league, and I'm going to invest in this for the first time next year because I'm tired of losing, even though I've come in 4th and 6th overall out of a league of 200. It's just not consistent enough, and I'm going to invest in Dauber's schedule optimizer. How do you feel about the optimizer? Do you use that optimizer, or do you use another one? Do you have your own spreadsheets?
I'm super old school, right? So I've been doing this for a lot of years. This will be the first time, if I can pull it off with the President's Trophy, it'll be the first time. But I think my bucket was maybe 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. You can go look at it on the site. For anybody who hasn't seen the site with all the paloozas and the stuff, it's pretty awesome. Ever since the first year, the commission and I, who went to college together, geek it out with our spreadsheets. So a little bit of inside baseball. So his spreadsheet is called HAL. For you movie buffs out there, you'll know exactly what
Mm-hmm.
HAL is.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's ENIAC
2001:
because
Space Odyssey. Yeah.
exactly. And for me, it's ENIAC, which was one of the first computers built in the 1970s. I think my spreadsheet was built in the 1970s. So no, I have not done a
It's an
schedule
abacus,
optimizer.
actually. It's an abacus.
Exactly.
Okay, it's one
But
goal. Click.
right. But I have literally been using the same spreadsheet every year. It gets a little bit better. And to be honest, other than the fact that it's a tremendous amount of work, it's great fun, right? I mean, this if you look at this league, it really is a commitment to stupidity, and different people
Mm-hmm.
do it in different ways, right? Whether you are going on trips with other people like you and I did together, whether you're escaping from work and reality and real life in your spreadsheet like guys like Adrian and I do, the
Mm-hmm.
commission, I spend way too much time in a spreadsheet, or you're going to games and you're getting pictures of games and you're out there, right? So for me, it's my wife, it's my son, and yeah, definitely use my own spreadsheet. You're going to have a hard time doing it all in your head, right? We're
Mm.
still watching hockey, but you cannot plan for injuries. And I don't care how smart you think you are.
Oh, of course not.
Um, I, I really thought that I was going to do well with Kaprizov in one of my leagues. He hasn't been there. Other players are. Some guys get injured. The spreadsheet matters.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand schedule, you're going to get worked in this
Yeah,
league.
you can luck into stuff like I have. I mean, it's happened, right? But
Hmm.
like I came in sixth one year without the use of any optimizer. Just happened to
Hmm.
make the
Hmm.
playoffs and have some good weeks, right? I mean, you can do it
Yeah,
without one, absolutely. But if you want to really be able to compete and increase your odds, a scheduling software or a spreadsheet of some sort is really helpful. Like
it
like
is.
honestly, I didn't have anything invested in this year, but when I was preparing for the total poll, I literally wrote it down to figure out,
Yeah,
okay, let's see. Okay, that's
right.
4 in week 1 for Arizona,
Yep,
3 in week 2, and another 4. That's not bad. Right?
yep,
And then you're like
yep.
on off days and stuff like that, right? So those 3 weeks that consist of the toilet bowl and the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, those are crucial weeks, and you can optimize your schedule all you want. But if you get somebody who's got a great schedule from like October to February, then all
Yeah,
of a sudden they've got 2 games, 3 games, and 2 games during the playoffs.
yeah.
You might as well not even have drafted them. They're useless
See,
to you.
it's part of the beauty cube, right? You're going to play this whole season on total fantasy points and how far you can get. And then you enter the playoffs and the whole game's going to flip on you. You're going week to week. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care how good you were during the whole season. If
Means
you're
nothing.
not game on for that week, you're done. You're toast. You're
Yeah,
out.
your
It's,
opponent could get like 3 shutouts, a la Andre Pavlik.
yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Fab. Right? It just happens, right? Like you get a hot
It
goalie
does.
against you, or you just people who are consistently
Yeah,
getting 2 points a game for every game that week, and they all of a sudden that's enough to murder you, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't
For
it
the, for
doesn't take much.
for the rookies coming in, there's two things that at least for the veterans, for myself, it's super fun. One is draft day. Prepare for draft day. Have a strategy. It's different. I had never gone four of the top five on D before, and now I'm sitting on top of 180 teams in the league. I had literally never done that in all my years. There's some people. There's a joke on the boards about somebody decided to Rambo one year. The hell you talking about Rambo? They literally went with no goalies. And then I've
Mm-hmm.
seen other people winning, and what they're doing is they're rotating four, five, sometimes six goalies.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are so many different strategies, Q,
Yeah.
but for me, there's two
S-
big moments.
s-
Knowing the draft
mm,
and knowing how to manage your schedule. Those are they're key if you want to
yeah.
win.
And like, it's all well and good to go for Rambo, but as I discovered this year when I cut bait on my goaltenders and then reacquired some, uh, when you plan for the playoffs and you see those empty slots there,
Yeah,
and you don't
indeed.
have a goalie, you're like, well, there's
Yeah,
0 points in both
yeah,
slots. So that's why I
yeah.
picked up Bennington and Saros, because I was like, I'm screwed without some goalies. So it kind of works. I wish I had Daccord back, but c'est la vie.
Yeah.
Saros and Bennington will have to do. Bennington I hate. Saros is inconsistent, but never know. Those weeks they could post
Yeah.
shutouts each.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Saros is
happens.
playing a lot of games, which will help you, right? One of the things, and again,
That's why I
spoiler
chose him
alert
over
for
Allmark.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Allmark is somewhat guaranteed points. Bruins have been struggling
Yeah,
lately, but he's every second game, so you're
that's it.
sacrificing 50% of your games. Bennington might
The-
play 4 games in a week and play
yeah.
3 of them, maybe 4, depending on how they're spaced out.
Mhm.
Right? It just depends. And
100%.
and you mentioned earlier that your wife and your son are in this, so it's a bit of a family
Yeah,
affair. So your
it
son
is.
is Ryan, yeah?
Yeah, my son is Ryan, so he loves to play. So a little bit of too much information on me. I travel a lot for work. So, especially in the past, I used to travel about 250,000 miles a year on airplanes. And so, try and
Jesus.
find a way to stay in touch with your family, stay in touch, have stuff to talk about with my kids that's not, hey, clean your room, do your homework. And fantasy hockey was that for us as a family. So, Ryan and I still play. My wife's too busy right now. She's tapped out, but she'll be back in. But it's
I
great
heard
when
she
the
might be
whole
coming back
family's
next
in
year.
it. You and Carly may have talked her into it. I'm gonna come up there and give you a kiss if that actually happens. We may have her back, which would be a beautiful thing. Yeah. So Amy was the original Hoggette, the original female that we had in Puck Hogs for a number of years, but she's definitely not the spreadsheet grinder that my
No.
son and I
But
are.
like that's the thing.
She's just doing it for fun.
Even if you're not, and you're
Yeah,
like talking to us like
but that's it.
schedule optimizing, I just want to
Yeah,
try. That's
yeah,
that's perfectly
yeah.
okay too.
Yeah.
Hogs is for all skill levels, right? Like I mean,
Dude.
the first year I came in, I didn't make the playoffs and anything, and didn't do well in the 12 bowl. But the next year I came in, I made playoffs with 2 teams and did okay. And then the next year I took over a team that was abandoned and came in fourth. And then the year after that, with one of my teams that came in sixth. It just but like I never had any schedule optimizing software. I came close to winning the whole thing. I was in the finals with 4, right? So
And look, in Puck Hogs, it's all about the commitment to stupidity. It's not about winning. It's about going on a palooza. It's about meeting people that you've never met before in
mm,
your life, right? The
and
first
taking
time we
part
met,
in the trash talk, right?
dude,
There's a
absolutely.
whole WhatsApp conversation that's miles long at this point, that you can join on WhatsApp and stay in contact, which is really great because we often set up mini WhatsApp chats for each division. Some, like Brophy, are very well populated, and others, like say McCracken this year, is like it's a ghost town. But that is an option. And like if you're looking for your fellow division mates to try and make some trades instead of just firing off random offers, Trash Talk is the place to be because you can figure out who the heck is who and what team they happen to be and all like that. And after a while, you get to know the different personalities, ranging from the to the this guy's cool, right? Not gonna name any names, Brent, but it happens.
It does.
It
And by
happens.
the way, you meet some absolutely awesome people that you never would have met in real life. Jansen is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's
Kenny
a
is
workhorse. He
he
does a
is,
lot
dude.
of behind the scenes
Right?
stuff for this league. Like when he sets up the playoffs this year, that's going to be
Yeah.
Jansen with me doing a little bit of the after work.
Indeed, indeed, it's amazing people you never would have met, and you've got an instant conversation starter in hockey, and
Mm-hmm.
you know this as well as I do because we've both married well, partnered well, but having hockey conversation with the ladies, in
Mm-hmm.
addition to the boys, it's so fucking good, dude. 24/7, 365.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
please. I would like to talk
Before we're
hockey.
even in a hockey pool together, my partner and I were bonding over Patrice Bergeron's career's face-off percentage. So
I love it.
we were just like, look at this, it's nearly 60, or maybe it's over. It depends what year you're looking at, but
Yeah,
it's incredible, right? And like 60%
yeah,
doesn't sound that impressive when you hear it out loud, but when you look at the stats, no, like career-wise, you're like, holy shit, this guy's
yeah,
good on the dot.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it really comes down to just trying to find having an outlet really, and trying to find the
100%.
joy. Like, I mean, if you've never been in a hockey pool before and you want to care about Nashville versus Florida, that's the way to go, because all of a sudden you've drafted Philip Forsberg and Alexander Barkov, and you care because that game is on at like 2 p.m. on a Sunday, and you're glued to the screen hoping for a hat trick.
And if you're an over-the-hill old man like me and you want to get some quality time with your kids and you do a Puckapalooza somewhere in Colorado for a pond hockey, Pabst Blue Ribbon pond hockey tournament in
Mm-hmm.
Colorado, it's a once in a lifetime, man. It's literally the greatest shit in the world. It's
Yeah,
so
it
much
is.
fun.
It is. It is. It's a lot of fun. This podcast turned almost into an ad, but it's true, right? Like
It
we're
is.
doing a podcast because we care that much about it, and it's that much fun.
Yeah.
Like how many hockey pools do you see where they actually have a dedicated podcast or a dedicated social media person? Carly, my partner, does all the social media and does a bang up job of it. Makes it look real professional because that's what she does for a living, and she's got a
Yeah.
passion for it, right? So like bring your passion, whatever it is, and maybe you can even help out, let alone your passion for hockey. So yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Todd. Appreciate you coming on board here today and having a quick chat with us. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, Q. Good luck for the rest of the season, and I will no
Toilet
doubt see you in
bowl,
the toilet bowl.
toilet bowl. I'll bring the scrubbing bubbles. See you, Todd.
Beautiful.